Hey there everyone, my name's GamePar and welcome back to another episode on the InfinityCraft server. It is Friday evening and my last episode just posted earlier today, and I wouldn't normally be back on playing right away, but while I was getting the last video edited and I was waiting for some files to process, I got back on here working on the collection system of the Cactus Farm because, although I said, you know, a little bit of loss when we're producing so much cactus is not a big deal. You know, I just couldn't let it go. We were losing cactus because of our collection system, and I just could not let that go. So, I started messing around with the collection system, and I wanted to show you some of the work that I've done before I close it all up, because once I close it all up, I won't be able to get in and show you what I've done. So, let's get looking at this thing. I was really thinking about the collection system, and it was bothering me that cactus was getting caught. So what I've done is I have lowered the collection channel, the water channel, down several blocks and eliminated the blocks of ice here that were allowing items to slide across. Because what was happening before is items would fly down here and they'd have so much speed that they'd cross over to the other side and get stuck on the ice. And then as other pieces would come close to it, they would get stuck along with it because the items kind of bunch together when they get close enough to each other. So I got rid of the ice, but I also created secondary channels below here. So let me break into this so that I can show you what's going on down here. So water flows 8 blocks, right? So the water on top of here is flowing 8 blocks. And we were filling that gap with the ice. So now what's going on is there's a second water flow system underneath, 1 block closer, pushing these items to the very edge here. So, as you can see, cactus flies off, falls over on this side, and this water pushes it down here. Then we have lowered this water channel so that items are not getting stuck on the fence posts or whatever. I had a really cool system set up before where I replaced the fence gates with single glass panes so that it did the pillar thing. But because there's walls on the sides, we can't do that. But this is working perfectly now. So what I am going to be doing is just giving this side, let me get back in here. This side is cleared out, it's ready to go. I'm going to dig a hole. I've gotten myself really in here now, haven't I? Yes, I have. But I can pillar my way up here. That is not a problem. Let's just close this back up. And, oop, I need to close that up, I think. Yeah, because the water is going to be, there's going to be an issue with the water if I don't close this part up. All right. I hate my mouse. I hate my mouse. Alright. Get this closed up and we'll get up and out of here. Did I break? Yeah, there it is. Perfect. So what I'm going to do is, I've got this section cleared out. I'm going to go in here. I'm going to stop up the water. I'm going to break into this section here, just like I did over on this side. This side's still open so you can see. All I did was I got rid of the water, I broke into here so I could lay the water down underneath, because there was no way I was getting water in while I was underneath there. Then I will close it all up, I will reinstall the water, and this thing will work perfectly. So much better. We're not going to have any loss due to our collection system. We're still going to have a little bit of loss once in a while when a piece of cactus falls on another piece of cactus, but that's about it. Cactus Farm is complete. Now, it looks pretty impressive standing next to the Kelp Farm, and to make things look similar, I added the front office on the Cactus Farm, but I'm actually thinking that we might get rid of the front office on the Cactus Farm and get rid of the front office on the Kelp Farm as well. Very good reason for that, which I will get to in a moment, but I want to show you this. This is like one of my favorite things about the Cactus Farm, this viewing platform. I really like just standing in here and watching the Cactus Farm do its work. Every so often, like you're always seeing cactus fall, and it just flows down into the channel, and it's really satisfying. Also, this thing has been producing like mad. I AFK'd overnight before finishing off the farm, and I had I'd say about half of this side's worth of cactus installed. And let me just show you. I mean, we got a ton overnight, and then I've AFK'd a little bit today. And I mean, this thing's been producing. Here is our chest chain, and I've recently emptied it out, but check this out. Full! 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 Like, I mean, this thing has been producing like mad. So I think this is a partial chest here. I emptied it out maybe half an hour ago, and I'm already like, this hopper is full, and this chest is, you know, got a few lines in it. So this thing is producing like madness, which is awesome. Also, I cleaned up this hallway area, and it just comes in behind our smeltery here and wraps around, so it's a little nicer to get to it than trying to climb a ladder over here. And I've closed this section back off. Now, why might I get rid of the front office, you ask? Well, I can never quite leave anything alone. I'm always thinking about how can I make this better. And I've been thinking for a while about these hopper chains. And hopper chains create lag. And I couldn't figure out a way of doing this kelp farm without these hopper chains, because there's well over a stack of hopper chains in each channel here. But I think I may have come up with a solution to the problem where we might be able to eliminate these hopper chains. But it's going to take a little bit of rework. And then the reason why I might get rid of the front office here is because all of the items, if this works the way I think it will work, and I'm not going to get rid of the front office until I've tried this out. I'm not going to do that. But if this works the way I think it will, water will start flowing here. It'll flow here across this spot, and it'll just continue flowing all the way along. So all the kelp that comes up will eventually flow to this spot here. So there is a section in between here that is 3 blocks wide. It used to be 4, but we had to extend the farm here. So I think that we're going to actually create our collection area in between the 2 farms, which means we'll be able to get rid of the front section here and our collection area, and possibly our smeltery for our kelp can be in this middle section here, which I think would be a good use of the space. So I'm going to start working on getting this tested out. The first thing I need to do, though, is do some demolition. And I think I'm going to figure it out where I only have to deal with the top layer. I can leave all the signs and the water source blocks that are underneath the signs. I will have to get rid of the hopper chains, but I will need to get rid of these flowing water source blocks up top here. And hopefully I'll be able to just fix everything if nothing works. Or we'll get a much better system, a much laglier... Laglier? That's not a word. Laglier? I'm going to have to put that in the... I don't know, some of my own dictionary. No, this will be a less laggy system. I haven't been noticing a lot of lag, but hoppers create lag. So if we can get rid of some of the hoppers, all the better. So I'm going to get working on it. I just banged my microphone. I'm going to get working on it. I was getting excited and I was starting to talk with my hands. You can't tell from here, but I was talking with my hands. I'm going to get rid of all the water, flowing water I mean. I'm going to get rid of the hoppers, and I'm going to play around with this and make some adjustments. So I think the best way to get rid of the water is just to place some junk blocks down and then get rid of them. This is going to be my quickest way. I've got a lot of this to do. You know, I mentioned earlier, I'm a glutton for punishment. I am never satisfied. Right. Never satisfied. I continuously have to make things better. I think I'm going to work on one section at a time here. So, I've got the water stream here eliminated, and I've got the water stream blocked off here. I don't actually need to eliminate this water stream, or at least I don't think I need to eliminate this water stream. I might need to in order to do the second section here, but we'll play this one step at a time. My next step here is to put slabs on top of the hoppers. No, that is wrong. My next step is to get rid of the hoppers and replace it with ice. Yes. There we go. Packed ice has now replaced the hoppers. The next step I'm going to do is putting these slabs on top of the packed ice. That should hold water right here for the next set of water streams. As I lay this down, I just want to talk about one of my little pet peeves with Minecraft, and that is slabs. I have a pet peeve with slabs. Not so much with the slabs themselves, but I'm constantly hearing people call these things half slabs. How are they half slabs? Slabs are half of a block, so I guess you could call them half blocks, but a half slab would actually be like only like that much of a slab, or half of a slab. These are called slabs, and blocks are called blocks. You could call these half blocks, but I don't understand how you could call them half slabs. It's just one of those things that have never made sense to me. The slabs are in place. Now it's time to place the water, and the slabs here should prevent the water from backflowing on the system. So I must get water source blocks all the way along here. How is there fire here? Where? Hello? Oh! Ha ha ha! It is you! Good thing PvP is off. So I've just spent the last 20 minutes repairing creeper damage. Apparently, if you line up signs like this, you break the one at the very end. It's just a cascade. They all pop off. We had a creeper explode up top here, just as RaleMaximus was telling me that he can make charged creepers now. I'm like, huh, that's suspicious. Anyway, yeah. So we've got the dirt in, we've got the slabs in, and I've got the creeper damage repaired. Now the next thing I'm going to do is replicate what I've done here all the way along here. First I'm going to get rid of this stream with putting, the water source blocks, putting dirt in. Then I'm going to get rid of this line of, this line of stuff. I'm going to put the ice down and cover it with the slabs. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the hopper chain, just like I did over here. And I'm just going to continue that all the way over here. Next time you see this, that work will be done. Water streams have been modified. That is all done. Now, I've put in the sea lanterns here. I was a little concerned about the sea lanterns melting the packed ice. So I did a little bit of a test, and I put packed ice 1 block, 2 block, 3 block, and 4 blocks away from a sea lantern, and nothing has melted. So I'm assuming that what light sources don't melt packed ice. They will melt regular ice, but I'm assuming that they just don't melt packed ice. So we should be all safe there. I'm going to leave the dirt in place holding the water sources until I get the collection area done, and I'm going to need to tear apart the trim here in order to do it, because let me just hop over to the other farm here. water is going to... We're going to have ice here, and then it's going to drop into a collection area here, and then we'll have a wall on this block, the in-between block, up a few levels, so that any items that want to fly across will hit the wall and fall straight down into the water stream. Then we're going to have some sort of collection system in the middle. That's why we're probably going to get rid of the front sections here. So I'm going to tear this apart and start working on the collection area. Temporary floor is in place, and I've done the outline for the stream transportation system. I've also got a torch over here in the very center of the building. I think I'm going to do a centralized stream flow system, which means there'll be a stream pushing items this way, a stream pushing items this way. They will collect and drop down into the center, into a hopper, which will then disperse them into the shulker boxes using the same system we have at the end. It's just going to be on the side instead of the end, which opens up some space for us to have more shulkers available to fill for the kelp. So my next job is going to be installing the water stream, which you saw me do on the Cactus Farm. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that, and I'll show you the update once it's done. It is time for a progress update. I have the entire water stream system in place. I believe I also have the hopper system put into place, and this is 16 hoppers, which sure is a whole lot fewer hoppers than what we had in there before. That is for sure. So this should really reduce the amount of lag we have. So the next step is to put the water into the water stream system and make sure that that is functional. So let's head up to the top and actually get the water in. I've got a couple buckets. Really, we only need one, but I've got two. Okay, we'll get a water source from here. And oh, this is going to be crazy because it's slippery. Water source, which is going to run to the right location. I'm going to get the bottom water sources in first, and then we will do the top ones. So we'll put the bottom one in. That should run to there. And then we will put the fence gate, or top one in. There we go. I'm going to do that for the rest of this. All of the water is in place. The last thing we need to do, other than create the lower platform, is get rid of all the temporary dirt. And once we get rid of the temporary dirt, this thing is working. I believe we are done. The top is done. I've also got some light sources up here to prevent creepers from spawning on top. Let's head down and below here. I've lowered this by 2, which means we've got our shulker boxes in. So they are empty, ready to go. I'm going to do a harvest, and we're going to test to see whether or not this is working. So I thought I'd grab a third-person perspective while I harvest up the kelp. And we should start to see kelp arriving and heading into the water streams and doing its thing. Ah, sweet. That is awesome. It is lagging a little bit, as it always does when I'm harvesting kelp. But look at that. I mean, look at this. It is working beautifully. I'm going to harvest this up, the entire thing, and make sure that it's still working well. So I wanted to do a high volume test just to see how well this was handling capacity, and we do have a bottleneck going on here. I'm in spectator, so I can't actually see how we're doing on these hoppers, but that could be a bit of an issue, which we're going to have to test out a little bit. I think it might not be quite as much of an issue if I don't harvest the entire farm at once. I mean, I let this thing grow to full growth, and I did a full farm harvest because I wanted to see just what kind of backup we would be getting. I'm going to let this sort itself out and see how long it takes to clear. We might lose some items here just from item time that they'll despawn. So we'll have to take that into account, but this is going to be a lot better lag-wise for the servers. So, I mean, there are trade-offs depending on what kind of system you want to use. The other thing we could do is set up multiple hopper collection areas instead of one central. But I don't know. I'm not sure what I think about that. Anyway, yeah, that's interesting. Well, we lost a lot of items to despawn, so this is not the ideal way of doing it. I wonder if we should get rid of the top set of hoppers here and put a water stream and let the water stream push the items into these hoppers. That might be the better way to do it, and then we can make this like 16 long with a bonus, like an ice block here, just to get everything moving across. Yeah, I think that's probably what is going to happen here. All right, here we are with the modified collection system. We have 2 rows of 8 hoppers connected to the equivalent number of shulker boxes. So I'm hoping that once I do the test here, all of the kelp's going to fall into here, and it's going to push along this water stream here, and it's eventually just going to get sucked up by all of these hoppers. If this hopper here is taking too long, it's just going to move along to the next one, and hopefully this is going to solve the problem of items despawning when we are doing a harvest. So I think that it's time that we do another harvest. I wonder if we've gotten enough. Let's take a look to see if we have enough kelp to at least do a test harvest. Yeah, we should have enough to do a test harvest. We can see how that goes. I'll set up the camera account again so that we get a good view. Here we go with test number 2. Let's see how well this thing does. Okay, so I've got a little bit going through the system. I'm going to stop breaking kelp so that the lag stops, and then we can see if it all flows. It looks like it's all disappearing pretty much as soon as it hits the water flow. So my guess is that this is successful. Yeah, let me break some more. It's going to get really laggy here for a moment. It's got something to do with the updates when you break the kelp. But you know what? I think we may just have success. Huh. Okay, I'm not going to break any more here for a moment. Let's see. Yeah, there's more kelp coming in. What's going on? Where are we losing? I just broke some kelp. Oh, it's coming up now. There we go. Let's go back down. Some of it's making it a little bit further. But all the kelp is getting caught. And my guess is that once those shulker boxes are full and the hoppers are full, it's just going to keep going until the next available hopper takes it. I think this is probably a successful test. I'm going to go through off camera and harvest the rest of this farm, and I'm just going to make sure that it's still doing its thing. Well, I think that was a completely successful test. It is working perfectly. There is no backlog in the system. This is awesome. I said several episodes ago that there was absolutely no way to do this without using the hopper chains, and I was completely wrong. I got inspired from making the Cactus Farm and the things that I learned with the water streams, and so we've been able to do this where we reduced it from over 3 stacks of hoppers down to only 16 hoppers. That is great, and that is going to be good for the health of the server. There's a few things I want to do in between episodes. You can see behind me there's a piece of cactus stuck on the sand. I want to put a glass roof on top of this so that that doesn't happen when the cactus breaks. It's got nowhere to go but down. The other thing that I want to do in between episodes is just get rid of those rooms on the front of these buildings, and I'm going to put the quartz steps all the way around. But you don't need to watch that. So that is everything that I wanted to accomplish in today's episode, which is amazing. If you've enjoyed this episode, please make sure that you hit the like button. As always, if you haven't done so yet, or if you're new to my channel, make sure that you hit that subscribe button today and make me a very happy GamePar. Also, I want to mention, check out Josh Bland's YouTube page. He does parkour, I mean not Minecraft parkour, real life parkour, and he does all the videography himself. It's pretty amazing to watch. So head over to his channel, hit his like button, hit the subscribe button, and show him a little bit of love. as always, show a little more love to our other InfinityCraft members. Their links will be in the description below, and if you go to my homepage, the YouTube homepage, they're all there on the right-hand side. Go to their channels, subscribe, and like. But that has been me, GamePar, playing on the InfinityCraft server. Have a great day, everyone.